In today's episode of Worship Leader Wednesday, we're going to talk about how you can get hired as a worship leader. There's a couple reasons why we wanted to tackle this video today. This should be an interesting topic to talk about because there are so many different kinds of churches out there and looking for lots of different kinds of worship leaders. But we're going to talk about things that are going to be pretty much universal when it comes to getting hired as a worship leader, at least in our minds.
Yeah.
And we have also, our church, Fuller, has been hiring, you've been hiring like nonstop for the last, couple of years, it feels like in our church.
I've been hiring people.
So to fill our campus
worship
worship leader positions. One of them was me.
That's right.
One of them was Bradford.
It's a great decision.
And, another reason is I'm a part of a couple of Facebook worship leader groups that are pretty large. And I really like engaging in those groups, but it also seeing the kinds of things people talk about in there a lot. Because I'm a member of one church in one place. So sometimes you can get tunnel vision, but, these groups kind of let me see, this is what's going on.
What's happening
in a lot of churches, at least in America. It seems like where most people post from. But there have been a lot of people talking about how they've been trying to get hired a lot in these groups. And a lot of people speculate why, and a lot of people think maybe because of their age, because of a lot of different factors, which may or may not be the case. But we thought, this is a good topic to make a video about. So what do we want to talk about?
In order to talk about this, I think we're going to have to assume some things here.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to assume that the person that's trying to get the job is a good fit for the job, right? Because, I'm not going to get hired as an NFL quarterback no matter how much advice I take, right? There's certain things that I'm not going to do. So I think what we're talking about here is when it lines up, like when a position opens that you feel like you're a good fit for and other people confirm that it's a good fit for you, how do you kind of get that gap closer?
Yeah.
Right? Because there are definitely ways to improve your chances of being the guy that gets the job or the lady that gets the job.
Can we insert a video within a video here?
Yes,
and
let's do it.
So, can we make the video? Should churches hire non-Christians as worship leaders? Can we insert that video right here? Let's make the video. No.
And also, let's just say this, that before you do anything, you should seek the advice of the Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And let's get that out of the way.
The Spirit, you should approach this with lots of prayer.
Yes.
Prayer and fasting, I think.
Yes.
That's one thing that I don't think we do. We don't talk about that a lot.
No,
fasting,
we don't.
But
and people point it out to us in the comments.
Yeah. But no churches should not be hiring non-Christians. We made, if you don't know what we're talking about, we made a video a while back. Should non-Christians be allowed to serve on worship teams?
And we never even really said yes or no.
No, we didn't. That video got a lot of controversy. But
yes, it did.
This video, we're saying absolutely equivocally no. Churches should not hire non-Christians as
that would be terrible
in
idea.
Their pastoral roles.
That's right.
And you should absolutely seek the Holy Spirit and the leading of the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Before you apply for a job anywhere as a worship leader or anywhere, period.
That's
true.
Yeah.
If you're a believer, the Holy Spirit should guide your actions. Okay.
Yes. Good. So now that we got that out of the way,
we're
assuming you seek the Holy Spirit. We assume that you're a believer.
Yes.
And that an actual Christian church is trying to hire you.
Yes.
All right. Good. So here we go. We're going to rapid fire some things that I've seen people make the mistakes of doing.
Okay.
And that if you just do these things, you're gonna improve your chances right away.
Okay.
It'll sound basic. It'll sound simple, but trust me,
you might be surprised.
People don't do it. I have way more resumes in my trash can than I have on my desk that says call this person.
I have seen some of those resumes that go to your trash can.
Yeah.
And some of them would blow your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So. Step number 1, do your homework.
Yes.
Do your homework about the place that you're going. Mm-hmm. So if you are trying to get hired as a worship leader at a church, do your homework about the church.
Okay.
Go to their website. Listen to their pastor's sermons. Yeah. Check out any worship videos they have in the past. Just know Google them. Google them.
A lot of places will have like their statements of what they believe.
Statement of faith. Yeah, all those things. So you need to know them before you go into it. And you'll be shocked at how many people that I'm interviewing and I'll ask them, "Hey, what do you know about our church?" And they'll be like, "Well, nothing really." Do you know what that makes me want to do? What that says to me is
conversation.
What that says to me is you're just looking for a job.
Yeah.
You don't want to be at our church. If you wouldn't go to the church that you're applying for a job for, then go work at McDonald's. Your life will be way better because you don't want to be in a bad situation. So do your homework. Tip number 2, this one seems basic. Have a professional help you put your resume together.
Yep.
Okay? It sounds like, it's something I can do. Trust me, there's a difference between a professional resume and something you threw together on Microsoft 86. It's like, listen, grammar errors, spell check, things like that is a huge turnoff. Because we're looking for someone who's professional that can lead a team, that can lead leaders. Mm-hmm. And so take the time, make your resume, and then hand it off to someone who does it for a living or someone who's really administrative and go, hey, would you mind just spell checking this and proofing this and just let me know how I can tweak. It'll be worth your investment because a great resume says this person is professional.
Another tip is to invest in a great video of you leading worship.
A paper resume is just kind of like, hey, how you doing? It's like a handshake. But if you're going to be a leading worship on stage, I want to see you doing that. Yeah. Because everyone says they lead worship. But then when I start talking to people, well, I haven't really led worship before. Yeah. I want to lead worship, which is great. Yeah. But I can't entrust you to take over something that I need somebody with experience. So I want to see experience. I want to see what you look like when you lead worship. Do you look like you're having fun? Do you look like you're enjoying it? And this is the most important thing. Here's a funny thing. When people send me videos, they think I'm watching them. Yeah. The very first thing I look at is the congregation. Yeah. So if you send me a video of you leading worship, and honestly, your vocals could be flat and your guitar could be out of tune, but if everyone in the audience is like raising their hands, singing, jumping up, I'm like, this is a great worship leader. Yeah. And so that's kind of a litmus test for me. Like, I want to know, because I've gotten videos of guys just like in their room, like singing a song, which is cool. It means you can sing and play, right? But you
get a judge of talent,
tiny part of it, right? Yeah. When you send me videos of you on a stage leading worship for a congregation, that says to me, I am talking to a worship leader. Yeah. And then everything else, and you go from there. And trust me, that video will move the ball downfield. Because I've got resumes and references and bios. I mean, I've got basically a person sends me their whole life. Yeah. But I'm gonna watch the video first. Yeah. I want to see the video, and that video is gonna determine how much time I spend on that other stuff. Yeah. Because if I know this person's a great worship leader, now I can actually start. Yeah. Let me get to know this person. Let me find out what they're about. What are their passions? What are their dreams? Yeah. And so it's one of those things where kind of the proof is in the pudding. So it's worth the investment. And when I say professional video, I don't mean go hire CBS. I mean an iPhone in the back of the room where you can see and kind of hear everything. Right. People get hung up on this.
Well, I think people think you're looking for like them leading at a mega church,
like Elevation or something,
with lights. Yeah. And, this stuff, or professionally mixed audio. Yeah. But it's wherever you are right now.
Authenticity is king. Yeah. I got a video from a guy that we ended up not hiring. He took a job somewhere else, but he sent me a video, and it was literally someone was holding the phone, so it was super shaky. But it was like in this little basement, and it was like 40 people, but they were like worshiping their heads off, and I was like, this guy's an awesome worship leader. Yeah. Yeah. And it was not about the quality; it was about the authenticity of someone actually passionately leading worship. And so just grab an iPhone and do it. If you don't have a worship video, I probably am not going to call you back. Right. Because I have 30 other people that have videos. Yeah. If you get 30 resumes of people with videos and 30 without videos, you're not even going to go to these people until you've gone through all of these people. And that's just the reality. Right. And so, trust me, send a great video. And if you want to take it up a notch, shoot a video of yourself just talking. Hey, my name is so-and-so. Let me tell you why I love leading worship. Get personal with it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be fancy. I'm telling you, that may be the thing holding you back.
Yeah, and this brings up, I was thinking about something while you were talking about this. What a person might be watching this and say, what if I'm not leading worship anywhere?
Great question. Video? You're probably not ready to get a job as a worship leader.
You should be leading somewhere. If that's what God is calling you to.
I'm so glad you said that.
As a volunteer.
Yes. If you are not leading worship currently, then you need to start leading worship somewhere first. Yeah. and serve, because it really is about serving. Now, maybe you've been a worship leader for 20 years and like you're in transition and you're taking a break. That's a completely different story. Yeah. But across the board, get involved serving, because I can guarantee you, it's hard to get a job as a worship leader, but it's easy to get on a worship team somewhere. Yeah. If you go to any church around town and say, hey, I sing, I play guitar, I want to serve, they'll be like, can you start tomorrow? Right. So start serving. Yeah, and building those relationships. Hey, most of us got jobs because we were serving at a place. Right. So assuming you get into the conversation, right? You've got a resume, you got a video, and you got to the point where someone's calling you saying, hey, we want to talk to you. Yeah. At that point, it's all about being personal, being humble, and putting your best foot forward. Yeah. You have to, at that point, really rapidly start building a relationship. And I look at it like this. This is a question I ask. Is this someone I'd want to hang out with? Yeah. Like, if we didn't work together, would I want to hang out with this person? Not like buddy best friends, but just... is this person cool? Does this person seem real and seem authentic? And those things are really important. So you got to be able to be real. Don't play a game. Yeah. Don't try to impress people. Listen, if I'm calling you, I'm already impressed. Yeah. There's something about your resume, there's something about your video that I like. You don't have to impress me anymore. At this point, I just want to get to know you. Yeah. And I want to be impressed by your humility and your openness. So it brings me to another thing. Ask questions. Yeah. Ask lots of questions. People who ask great questions, that always comes off good. This comes off as someone who's a learner, somebody who wants to know things. If you're the one doing all the talking, that's usually not a good sign. So I like people who ask lots of questions, good questions.
You're kind of interviewing the church as well.
It's two ways, man. Because it's a two-way process.
Let me tell you that, like, ministry will chew you up and spit you out. And if you're not doing ministry in a church that you love and love to be a part of, it can be a miserable experience.
I think you just got to know, as we kind of wrap up, that it's a risk for both parties. Someone hiring you is a risk. No matter how much time we spent together, how great your experience is, what your resume says, if I hire you, I'm taking a risk. Yeah. Because I don't really know you. If you accept a job, you're taking a risk. Yeah. Because you don't really know what you're getting into. But at the end of the day, we can trust God.
A couple of thoughts in closing that I have would be... realize that, especially if this is your first time applying for a job as a worship leader, realize that how well you play an instrument or sing is like the very tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, very small.
It's
like the key that unlocks the door.
Right. Yeah. As far as what a church is looking for, for us, it's how well can you build teams and lead teams and lead leaders. And so understand that there's a lot more that goes into doing the job than singing and playing guitar. But you got to have the chops, and at some point they'll probably have you sing and play or lead worship. You better show up to that part of it super prepared. Fuller, I thought we were done with this video, but we had discussed saying something earlier that's actually pretty important that was left out. That's right. Which is...
So we are hiring. We're always hiring worship leaders. So if you feel like you want to put your name in the hat, send us your resume and all of the things I just talked about.
Yeah, and where can
Don't send me a resume without a worship video.
Where can they do that?
So they can just send that resume to office at newhopechurch.org.
And I'm going to put that email right there. Okay.
That's right.
Also below. And we have a jobs page on our website where we list current openings. But even if there's not a worship leader, and that'll also be below too, even if there's not a worship leader position open, we're still kind of always looking for people. Plus, Fuller, you just mentioned you often have...
I have pastors all the time from around this area in North Carolina calling me, asking me if I know worship leaders. Right. There's lots of job openings out there. Yeah. You just got to find the right one and the one that fits for you.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us again on another Worship Leader Wednesday. Make sure you hit the button below to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't figured it out by the title, we're here every Wednesday with worship leading tips and advice, stuff you can put into practice right now. See you in the next one.